History remembers what happened, but it is shaped by moments when everything could have turned another way. A decision, a journey, a single moment. This is where we explore them. When history turned,
we examine a single, verifiable divergence. On June 3rd, 1932, a small laboratory fire in Valencina destroyed a working prototype of a compact radio transmitter and the unpublished notebooks of lead researcher Dr. Anna Rivas. In our baseline reality, those notes accelerated vacuum tube manufacturing techniques. In the alternate reality, they were lost. The measurable outcome: consumer radio miniaturization is delayed by roughly 15 to 18 years, shifting key commercial milestones from the mid-50s into the late 60s, early 70s.
How does one local accident produce that kind of global shift? Can you map the causal chain and give specific comparative dates and magnitudes?
Yes. Chain and metrics, precisely. Lost documentation removed a low-cost manufacturing shortcut that reduced component failure rates by about 40% in early production lines. Consequence: A. Mass production of smaller radios is postponed. First, affordable portable transistor. Like sets appear in baseline by 1954. In the alternate, they do not appear widely until around 1969 to 1972. Consequence: B. That postponement reduces the early consumer market scale for compact electronics, rerouting capital to centralized systems. Measurable knock-on: transistor commercialization and miniaturized circuit expertise mature, roughly 12 years later. First, small integrated assemblies enter consumer devices about a decade after baseline.
Those are technology dates. What about social and geopolitical effects? Did this delay change institutional investments or strategic outcomes we can quantify?
Secondary effects are quantifiable. Military and communications procurement favor hardened, centralized systems longer. Portable encrypted comms scale 30 to 40% later in adoption cycles. This delays distributed data gathering and rapid tactical coordination by roughly a decade in many states. Economically, early consumer electronics revenues in the 50s and 60s are reduced. Projection models place the cumulative electronics market from 1960 to 1975 about 20 to 30% smaller than baseline. Research programs dependent on a miniaturization ecosystem, small sensor satellites, mobile telephony, modular computing shift prime funding windows by 8 to 12 years. The accident compresses and delays a network of interdependent advances, measurable in years and percentages.
If we treat this as a divergence point for rigorous, counterfactual analysis, what would you label it? And what exact evidence would you require to validate the alternate timeline model?
Label: Valencina 19320603 Rivas notes. Required evidence: contemporaneous manufacturing reports confirming the missing shortcut, patent filings present in baseline but absent here, component yield statistics showing about 40% gap, and capital allocation records showing rerouted investment. With those data, we assign probabilities to each downstream delay and compute confidence intervals for the 12 to 20-year shifts I mentioned. Small physical accidents that remove concentrated tacit knowledge produce delays that propagate through manufacturing, markets, and research funding. That is the measurable divergence. If this wasn't the only timeline you'd like to visit, subscribe.